Hello everybody, and welcome back to Certified Collectibles. This is another episode of First Appearance of the Week. This is Wednesday, December 4th, 2024. We'll be giving you all the first appearance in your comic shops today. Now this week we got a really good video for you guys. I think we have 6 first appearances, 2 honorable mentions, so 8 titles in all to go through. There's definitely some books in there you guys should pick up for your collection. So let's go ahead and get started for the first appearance of the week, beginning December 6, 2024. First up from DC Comics, Action Comics number 1078. This features the first appearance of Concept. Now, we mention this all the time with the DC Comics. It really depends on what DC does with these characters they're introducing in the comics, as to how important these characters are going to be in the future, how important these issues are going to be in the future, and just how much collectors and fans really care about these characters going forward. You know, DC Comics doesn't have the same media presence that Marvel Disney has, so these new characters are introducing in the comics. It's going to be a little tougher for them to hit the mainstream. You know, they really have to rely on good storytelling and word of mouth to get collectors and fans to buy these issues and start talking about these characters. You know, if they include these characters in any kind of small screen, big screen project, if they bring these characters across other storylines, other story arcs, and other DC titles, that also helps. But like I said, really depends on how DC pushes these characters forward as to how important and collectible they're going to be in the future. So with all that being said, this here will be a little more speculative because you are specking on DC doing something with this character to make this character resonate with fans and collectors and have collectors want to hold on to this book long term. You know, but like we always say, for $2 or $3, you could be sitting on a huge winner here if this character becomes popular. So in our opinion, this is a great spec. Grab this here for a spec if you can. If you can't, put in your B-list and take a look at it later on. Next up from DC Comics, Batgirl number 2. This features the first appearance of Kelton the Unseen, the leader of the Unburied. Now, like we just mentioned a moment ago, really depends on what DC does with these characters introduced in comics as to how important these characters are going to be in the future. Now, this hero character is also being introduced into the Batgirl title series. This is definitely not one of DC's stronger or more heavily collected title series, so they have to do something spectacular with this character to make this character collectible long term. You know, if they brought this character into one of the other mainstay title series, such as Batman, Detective Comics, Superman, or Action Comics, then the character would definitely have more eyes on it, because like I said, this Batgirl title series, not necessarily heavily collected. So once again, this here will be speculative if you choose to pick it up, but like I always say, $3 or $4 may be worth the risk. Grab this here for a spec if you can. If you can't, put in your B-list and take a look at it later on. Next up from DC Comics, Shazam number 18. This features the first appearance of the Successor. Now, the Shazam title series, once again, not one of DC's more heavily collected or more popular title series. The character and the franchise did get a boost from the feature films, but that has somewhat abated. So the fact that they're introducing a new character into this Shazam title series, this one is definitely going to be speculative if you choose to pick it up. You know, you're really speculating on DC doing something with this character in the Shazam universe. So once again, definitely speculative. Grab it for a spec if you can. If you can't, put in your B-list and take a look at it later on. Next up from DC Comics, Two-Face number 1. This features the first appearance of Lake Cantwell, assistant to Harvey Dent. This also introduces the White Church and Underworld Courthouse. Now this here is the premiere issue of this Two-Face title series. Now this is definitely a B-series or spin-off from Detective Comics or Batman. So this one here, once again, a little bit more speculative because it really depends on how important this Lake Cantwell character is going forward in the Batman universe, and also this White Church, this underground courthouse. You know, it really depends on how important those things are in the Batman universe proper. So once again, definitely speculative if you choose to pick it up, but this here is the premiere issue of this Two-Face series, so maybe worth the risk. $3 or $4. You could be sitting on a huge winner here if this goes somewhere. If it doesn't, you know, you're out a couple dollars. So once again, a great spec. Grab it if you can. If you can't, put in your B-list and take a look at it later on. Next up from Marvel Comics, Conquest 2099 number 4. This features the first appearance of Ghost Spider 2099. Now, I think pretty much every issue of this Conquest 2099 series has hit our list. There's been a first appearance of a new character in each one of these issues. And like I always mention with these alternate universe versions of these existing characters, you know, not all of these are going to be important going forward. Some of them will be, some of them will be popular, some of them will be fan favorites and collectible, and a lot of them will not be. So this issue here features the first appearance of Ghost Spider 2099. The fact that this here is a Spider-Man universe-derived character, this may be a little bit more important. So this one here, once again, it will be speculative, but you know, with Marvel Disney, it's usually worth picking up these first appearances no matter who they are, because for $3 or $4, if they hit the screen, small screen, big screen, you know, you're going to be sitting on a huge winner for just a couple dollars. So in our opinion, these are always worth picking up for your collection. Go ahead and grab this one here if you can. If you can't, put in your B-list and take a look at it later on. And finally for Marvel Comics, X-Force number 6. This features the first appearance of La Diabla. Now, the X-Force title series, this does have a fan base and collector base, but this here is definitely more of a niche title. You're not going to have as many fans and collectors for this particular title series as you would perhaps the X-Men title series or the Uncanny X-Men. But the fact that they are introducing a new character into this universe, this one here may be worth picking up. Like I always say, you can't really go wrong with picking up the first appearance of new characters in Marvel Comics. They still have a huge media presence. If they introduce this character into a small screen, big screen project, this is going to blow up. Collectors will race back to the comic to try to find this first appearance. So another one we think you should probably pick up for your collection, go ahead and grab this one. And now for the honorable mentions. From Marvel Comics, All New Venom #1. This is the premiere issue of a scaled-back, Earthbound series featuring a mysterious host of the Venom symbiote whose identity will be investigated by Dylan Brock. The potential hosts include Luke Cage, Rick Jones, Madame Mask, and Robbie Robertson. Now we put this one here on the list because this here is a premiere issue of this new title series, and Venom, huge fan base, huge collector base, part of the Spider-Man universe. Anytime there is a new series for Venom, these are definitely premiere issues that you want to pick up. And this here does feature this mysterious host of the Venom symbiote. This may be important going forward, we don't really know at this point, but for $3 or $4, it's probably worth the risk on picking this one up. So grab this one here for your collection. And finally from DC Comics, Absolute Superman #2. This is the second issue of this Absolute Superman title series. Now, I don't think I have to tell you guys about this Absolute series from DC Comics, incredibly popular with fans and collectors. The Absolute Batman, Absolute Superman, Absolute Wonder Woman, all the first issues of those titles have sold out, going back for second and third printings. Same thing with issue #2 of Absolute Batman and Absolute Wonder Woman, already going back for second printings, and this here is the Absolute Superman #2. In our opinion, these are definitely worth picking up for your collection. The risk of not having exposure to this title series being this popular is probably worth the risk of owning these books and them going nowhere. So in our opinion, this is a book you definitely want to have in your collection. Go ahead and grab this one. So there you have the 8 titles that we have for you guys this week. There's definitely some books in there you guys should pick up for your collection. So please feel free to drop some comments in the comment section below. Thumbs up if you like this video. As always, please remember to subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thank you for joining us here at Surfet Collectibles, and we'll see you again next time.